Hello viewers, it's time for makgeolli Talk. Every week on this channel, I have a new makgeolli video. So if you like this video, please click that like button and subscribe. Today's topic is Rice Wines of the World, Part 3. Continuing the discussion we had in previous makgeolli Talks, introducing myself to the idea of other brewing traditions for rice wine and comparing that with what I know about makgeolli. So today's episode will cover the next 4 countries on the list. So that'll round out the top 10. Hong Kong, Thailand, Taiwan, and Japan. So let's start discussing rice wines from these countries. So from Hong Kong, I picked the rice wine dessert. Joe is a low alcohol dessert with rice fermented with the yeast balls. Of course, if you can also use these same yeast balls to produce rice wine like Huangzhou. Sort of that's like Chongju, the yellowish rice wine. So again, that's a clear, that rice wine is a clear product. If you consume it very early on, it's a dessert. Of course, I realize the yeast used in this is probably different for those two purposes, but it's interesting to think about. They are related. So that's what I chose to represent Hong Kong. Okay, so next is Thailand. Thailand has a rice wine called Sato, and the enzyme used to convert the starch in the rice to sugar, the equivalent of Naruk, that enzyme is called lukpang, and it's grown on rice and rice bran, apparently, and that's so that's a slightly different preparation, but it's still prepared by growing mold on these rice and rice bran cakes. So that part is similar. So it's the action of the mold that produces the enzyme that we need to do the brewing. And from what I read, that's also a clear brew, not a cloudy brew. Next on the list is Taiwan, and there's definitely rice wine in Taiwan, mijo, but it's generally for cooking, and it's clear, not yellow. So again, that's going to be, the enzyme is going to be from the Chinese style round yeast balls made with rice. And then number 10 overall on the list was Japan. And of course, there are unfiltered sakes out there, but I'm not going to use that to represent. I'm going to talk about something called doburoku. So I looked that up. Doburoku is a real unfiltered homemade beverage. It's and it is cloudy. The recipe sounds a lot like makgeolli, so except that of course it uses koji instead of Naruk, and Naruk is grown often on wheat-based cakes, and koji is grown on rice. So there'd have to be difference in flavor because of that, but the recipe, the concept of it, is very similar to makgeolli. All right, so there we've covered over the past 3 episodes of makgeolli Talk, we've covered 10 countries, and I learned a little bit about rice wine from each of them. We're going to conclude this discussion in part 4 next time on makgeolli Talk. Thanks for watching.